Hello everybody, it is I, Sir Beardian, once again welcoming you aboard the Hype Train. Today we are going to be continuing our list, and we're going to start off with conventional armor. New ground combat rules provide the opportunity to simulate current ground forces, such as tanks, artillery, and etc. However, the single conventional armor tech does not provide any granularity to show the difference between different generations of armor. Therefore, the current conventional armor tech is replaced by 3 new techs. We also have slightly reduced capability of Duranium armor and increased cost to create a more graduated progression and give conventional forces some chance against the first generation of Trans-Newtonian vehicles. High density Duranium and above remain the same. Duranium armor becomes available regardless of current armor tech once Trans-Newtonian technology is researched. Here are the first 6 armor techs as they now stand. So, high density Duranium is the same, so we have strength 6, cost 6. Duranium is now strength 4, cost 4. And we also have conventional steel, conventional composite, and conventional advanced composite. I don't know. I feel like advanced composite might maybe make more sense if it was something like a composite spaced armor or something like that. Probably would work better, especially against penetrators. Anyway, moving right along, we have further changes to box launchers. In VB6 Aurora, box launchers could be reloaded in a hangar or at maintenance facilities. For C# Aurora, box launchers can only be reloaded in a hangar or at an ordnance transfer point, so spaceport, ordnance transfer station, ordnance transfer hub. Reloading at an ordnance transfer point is 10 times slower than in a hangar, so similar to the penalty for maintenance facilities. Because of the changes to maintenance facilities in C# Aurora, it will be a lot easier to forward deploy facilities for full-size warships, both on planets and in space, which would increase the potential of box launchers if they could still use as facilities to reload, especially given they are immediately available in C#. The introduction of ordnance-specific facilities for C# provides a good alternative. And this was touched upon when we discussed box launchers and missile launchers previously. Next up, we have changes in fleet training. Fleet training in C# provides the same benefits as VB6 Aurora. The mechanics by which it takes place, however, are quite different. Any fleet assigned to an admin command with a training specialization will automatically take part in fleet training. Attaching a fleet to a training admin command will start fleet training, while removing it will end fleet training. For details on admin commands, I refer you back to the video from Hell. Each construction phase, each ship in a fleet assigned to a training admin command will gain fleet training points based on the following formula. Crew training bonus of the admin command commander times ship crew grade times ship morale times construction phase length divided by 1 year. So that's just to scale to the construction phase. Unlike VB6, a fleet undergoing fleet training can perform normal duties and can be given orders if desired, although this is not required. There are no fixed movement or locations for training. However, only military ships can benefit from fleet training. While in training, a ship is under the following restrictions. The parent fleet must remain in a system that is within range of its parent training admin command. The ship cannot use maintenance facilities. The ship does not benefit from a recreational station. Maintenance failure chance is twice normal. The ship's maintenance clock increases by twice normal, unless it is within a military hangar. The ship's shore leave clock increases by twice normal, unless it is within a military hangar. And fuel is used as if the ship was running its engine at 10% power for the period of training. This is on top of any fuel used in normal movement. So this seems like it could potentially be using 110% of its normal fuel if you run it at full power. The fuel is consumed during each movement phase. A ship without engines does not require fuel for this purpose, so you can train your stations without using up fuel. Training will not take place if the ship is out of fuel or the training admin commander does not have a sufficiently senior commander. These mechanics are intended to simulate that ships assigned to fleet training are carrying out intensive training, such as drills, during the course of their normal activities. This places a strain on the ship's systems and the crew, resulting in increased maintenance and fuel use and a lower overall deployment time. The ship also sacrifices the benefits that would come from a different type of admin command. And of course, it doesn't make sense that you can be parked in a maintenance facility while undergoing intensive drills. Mostly. Next up, we have a slightly esoteric change, perhaps. In recent years, several theories have been published regarding a potential planet affecting some Kuiper Belt objects, possibly a distant but undetected gas giant. Therefore, a new game option is to add Planet X to the Sol system. I believe we mentioned that in the new game options post earlier. The planet will be located at a distance between 125% and 225% of the orbit of the most distant dwarf planet. 10% of the time it will be a terrestrial body, 60% a gas giant, and 30% a superjovian. Moons, Trojan asteroids, and the Lagrange point may also be generated depending on the type of planet generated. If Planet X has a Lagrange point will also be generated for Jupiter. While very distant from the inner system, this could add an interesting variation to the Sol system. Currently, Planet X is named Minerva, although there isn't any Moon or Trojan asteroid names. Suggestions are apparently welcome. Not sure if any have been submitted yet. Next up, we have a bit more information on Resupply. In C# Aurora, Resupply is no longer instant and ships cannot without cargo shuttles exchange maintenance supplies in space. A ship can only resupply at a population with a spaceport, a cargo shuttle station, or at least one maintenance facility, or from a ship with cargo shuttles. Maintenance supplies are transferred at the rate of 10 per hour, multiplied by the number of cargo shuttle bays and the racial shuttle technology. Spaceports, cargo shuttle stations, and maintenance facilities can resupply an unlimited number of ships simultaneously. However, the ships being resupplied must be stationary. Resupply order types will be adjusted to deal with the new requirements. Maintenance supplies can be transferred by supply ships during each movement increment as time passes until the target ship has reached capacity, in the same way as underway replenishment of fuel. Next up, we have some order changes. Given the number of new logistics options, there have been added some combination orders to C# Aurora where functions can happen simultaneously. For example, refuel and resupply from colony will carry out both activities simultaneously, assuming that the ships or colony are equipped with the necessary logistical facilities. The order will complete when the activity with a greater duration is complete. Other combination orders so far are refuel, resupply, load ordnance from colony, join, refuel, and resupply target fleet, join, refuel, resupply, add ordnance to target fleet. More combination orders may be added during playtesting, depending on which are useful, although can't exactly go overboard. I think it would, to cut down on the amount of orders in the list, I would actually suggest that Steve might want to look into potentially adding AND functions to orders. So, for example, take a look at this one, right? You add join fleet order to the list. When you add join fleet, if you keep that that fleet selected as a target, then it would add like an add refuel, add resupply, add ordnance order, and then you can just add the refuel to the join order, add the resupply to the join order, add the add ordnance to the join order. So the initial order is join, that's just a join. And there's also a refuel, and there's also a resupply, and there's also an add ordnance. But there's a button that would let you add the refuel, the resupply, the add ordnance, or a combination of the three, as you like, to the order of join. Might be a little bit more coding work, but it would definitely allow much more combination orders without also cluttering the order list. So Steve, if you're listening, maybe not for release, I don't want you to push it back any further, but maybe like for 1.1, that might be a potential option for you there. Next up, we have some changes to fuel and supply. Because new rules for transferring fuel and supplies, ship classes can be given a minimum maintenance supply level and a minimum fuel level. Ships will not unload or transfer fuel and supplies beyond these levels. These functions replace the VB6 rule, where a tanker will only unload 90% of its fuel. So, for example, if you have a very deep space tanker, you might be much more suitable to restrict the fuel limit to like 30%, so it can actually get back home if it doesn't have quite as much fuel capacity as it might need to, and it's far enough away from base. Alright, we've got a bit of a bigger change now. Damage control. Damage control functions in a similar way to VB6 with a few exceptions. First up, there is no longer any separation between the current damage control assignment and the queue. In C#, there is just a damage control queue, and the highest priority item will be worked on first. The ship damage control rating is equal to the total value of engineering, damage control, and commercial damage control systems. Fun fact, apparently there's commercial damage control systems boosted by 5 times the engineering bonus of the chief engineer if one is assigned. So a chief engineer with a 20% bonus will double the damage control rating. That's cool. If the ship being repaired is in a hangar, the damage control rating of the mothership will be added to the damage control rating of the ship, and the motherboard maintenance supplies will be used first, although they will not be used past the specified minimum level. While this allows the mothership damage control rating to be potentially used on multiple ships simultaneously, it is preferable to having repair priorities per ship. The micromanagement isn't really worth the extra realism. So you want your now you don't need maintenance on a fighter to try and repair it, but you use the damage control rating of the carrier. So you want your damage control rating on the carrier to be high. If the top item in the damage control queue is too expensive to repair due to lack of maintenance supplies, other items will be checked in order to see if they can be repaired instead. The percentage chance of repair is equal to increment length in seconds divided by repair cost times damage control rating, all divided by 1000. For example, geological survey sensors cost 100 BP, For example, geological survey sensors cost 100 BP, so have a repair cost of 200 MSP, which is double, which is the same as VB6. If a ship has a damage control rating of 5 and the increment is 1 hour, the repair chance of the sensor will be 3600, which is the hour in seconds, divided by 200, which is repair cost, all times 5, which is damage control rating, divided by 1000, all adding up to 9%. All ships have the option to engage automatic damage control, in which case the ship will assign its own damage control queue based on the same repair priorities as NPRs. So that way you don't have to worry about it, and it'll just repair itself. Which is going to come in really handy for ships where, like, you're heading home, you don't particularly care which order everything is repaired in, and you don't really care because, hey, it's got an engine that works, just repair whatever. So you would turn that on in that case. Here we have a view of the new damage control tab for the ship section of the Naval Organization window. The repair chance on the rightmost column is the chance for the ship to repair the component in the time specified at the bottom of the screen in the repair chance time text box. SM repair all is only visible in SM mode and will repair everything including armor. Auto queue will queue everything using the automated damage control rules. Clicking the automated damage control checkbox means the ship will automatically queue and repair damage. The queuing is done just prior to damage control in the sequence of play. Alright, and I think we're a little bit short today, but the next couple of points are very, very lengthy and I don't want to run super over time. So join me tomorrow where we will continue on those changes for C# Aurora and continuing on every day this month until launch. Down below, links to the official Aurora Discord, Reddit, and forums where you can join the discussion and the hype. And I will see you next time.